Well, welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today we're going to do some woodworking. Got myself a hunk of wood here. Guys, take a look at the end there. There's the tag from Home Depot. This is the first time I ran across this. I just went and picked myself up an 8-footer 1x3. Guys, this was never a 1x3. This must have been a larger board, and all they did was cut it down to size. And it's still kind of furry there. And I never noticed it, but that's the first time I've seen that before. Usually when it's milled 1x3, it's smooth on both sides. I don't know what they're pulling there, but I'll be on looking for that in the future. So what have we got going on here today? Well, I got this grate, and this is a in my hallway, and it's for the fresh air from my hallway that goes into the furnace. And as you could see, when you buy these grates, they're not actually perfectly, you know, copacetic and everything. So I want to box this in on all sides with the wood. And you could see here where the holes are offset. So I'm going to have the wood go all the way around, and it's going to be sitting in flush. And I'm going to be using my table saw. And for the first time, I'm going to show you a biscuit joiner. I don't know if you guys ever seen a biscuit joiner or if you ever used one. I built all my kitchen cabinets with a biscuit joiner and glue. Not one nail, not one screw. And it's all oak, and it's never fallen apart. They've been up on the wall now for about a good 7-8 years. And I love using a biscuit joiner. I'll show you that in the future, coming up real soon. But first, let's get cutting to this, and I'll show you on the table saw how I do it. And for you guys that have one of these in your hallway, like of course my house was built in the 50s, so it's got a huge big air intake. A lot of houses today don't have a huge ductwork system. This one does. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Let's get to it right now. Okay, take a look at that right there. You can see how cockeyed that is. Well, that's what it's like when it's on the wall. So I decided to kind of put it in a frame, like a picture frame. So what I've done is I've got it in there. Now, if you take a good look, you could see that what I've done is I'm going to have this sit flush to these boards. So I've actually have this so that the wood is under from here to here. I'll just take this off if I can. It's probably going to move around with one hand, but you can see the idea there. So this is going to have an overlap over here. Now I have to take this material out and make it the thickness of this right here. Now take a look at this furry wood here. Is that pathetic or what? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to touch all this wood up with the belt sander. So let's do that first. So let's get cleaning this up here and get all the fur off of this wood. That's a lot better. Okay, let's start ripping it on the table saw. Well, this is the setup right here. So I've measured the distance between here and here, which is the same between here and here, just to cover this solid piece. And I got my blade, you can see it's just a tad higher than the material, and that's what I need. And over here I've got my my frame, and of course I just put a mark on each one here just so I know which side to do and facing up and where, so you don't make no mistakes. So let's start cutting right now. Okay, so you get the idea here. You can see where I've got the mark going there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this side here on the saw, and that'll give me my notch. So let's take a look at that next. Well, as you can see there, I have the blade risen all the way up to where I've got the slot there. So it's just about in the middle of that slot, so it'll cut there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the fence over so it just cuts out that little slot right there down. So let's do that next. Okay, be super careful when you're doing this kind of stuff. I've got a push stick. Keep your fingers away from this. It kind of stings after a while. So let's take a look, see how we make out. There we go. There's the slot we need. I'll do the rest and I'll bring you back. Well, there we are right there. You can get the idea how this is going to go together here. And I got it up on the saw here. And you could see how now this screw is going to go into the wood. And it's going to be held in a lot better all the way around. And to get the warpage out of it, I'm going to probably have to maybe put some PL Premium underneath that to hold it down so it's nice rather than putting in more screws. I don't know, we'll take a look. But that's pretty well it there now. And what we're going to do now is we have to attach all the four corners. And we're going to do that with the biscuit joiner. And it's so easy. No screws, no nails, and it is just an ideal tool. So let's get to that next. Well, all I've done here is turned it upside down, and what you want to do is just put your boards nice and flush and where they're supposed to be, and just put a mark like that on all four spots. And like you say, they have to be just like this and roughly in the center. Now we'll get the biscuit joiner and I'll show you how that works. Okay, I'll take a minute here and I'll just explain all the different type of biscuits. Here's a 0 biscuit that I'll be using today. And you can see the size of this. And it's just a wooden, pressed wooden disc that is meant to work with the machine. And it does a terrific job of lining up your corners, and you don't need to use no fasteners, no nothing. And they come in various sizes. This is a bigger one here, you know, number 20. And this is in between the 0 and the 20, number 10. And the whole idea behind it is it makes a slot here. You line up that mark that you've made, and it puts this biscuit right in there and joins the two pieces together. I'm going to show you how easy it is, and I'll show you mine. This is a Porter cable. I really like the Porter cable, and the whole idea is, well, this has a drop down for like a long board or something like that. You can put it on, but I'm not going to need that. And on the side here, if you take a look, I don't know if you can see them numbers right in there, but there's different sizes for your biscuits. And what that does is, you see the blade coming out there? So I'll show you like this. See the blade coming out? And it only comes out as far as the biscuit that you've selected. which is just you know, a no-brainer, easy to do. And there is a depth adjustment between how high this is going up or down, so you want to make sure that when you're using it, you wouldn't want to have it set so low that it would go into your slot, right? So you want to have it right in between here and this side. So right about in the middle there. You don't got to be perfect with it, but all you do is you make your insert for your biscuit, you put some glue, tap it together, set it, and forget it. I'm going to show you how easy this is to do. I'll demonstrate on this one here and show you what it looks like. Okay, I got you pretty well zoomed in there, and I'll do the best I can here. But here's my line, and here is a red marker right here on the machine. And it's as easy as you have to have make your tabletop, you know, nice and flat. And all you do really is you just hold this down flush. Keep your hands away from, of course, from anything that's dangerous. You just push it towards it, and as you're pushing, you can see how this is moving forward. And you just pull the trigger, and I'll show you what it looks like. So there you go right there. And the biscuit fits right in there. So now we'll do the corresponding side, and I'll show you how it fits together. So here's the corresponding side here. And same thing, you just line up the mark that you had there before. See if I can't get in your way there. Here's the mark on that side. And then the two pieces fit as easy as that. All I have to do now is put the glue in. So here I've got an overhead shot of how this looks. And when I first got the machine, I was thinking, so you can take the biscuit in and out. And I first thought, okay, what if I don't get that line matched up, you know, really nice on the back side there? Guys, look at this. Look at the play that you have here. So after you put the biscuit in, yeah, you have to clamp it. There is some play for adjustability there, and that's the best part about it. So I will put the biscuit in, I'll glue it up, and them biscuits actually do swell up. They're made to swell up, and you'll never get that joint apart in a million years. I'll bring you back when I got it all glued up, and we'll take a look and see how it turned out. Well, she's all done, guys, and there it is right there. Fits in there nice. Now all I did with the router was just put a nice little round over here. Guys, it turned out just great. It's an easy project to do. A couple of things about the this is the end of the board. That's all I got left over from an 8-footer. But if you take a look at this, there's nothing on here that is cheap. It's all metal. There's no plastic. It's very well built. And guys, there's nothing cheap about this, including the price. So it is quite expensive. But like you say, you only get what you pay for most times. And there's very few times you get more for paying less. But another example of the biscuit joiner is if you're building a project like this, and most times what people are doing is putting a massive boards together, making a table or something like that, and you want all the boards level, this is the fastest way to go with the biscuit joiner. You can just put them biscuits in real easy, and when they join up together, they're not up and down, and you're not using no fasteners. And same as this. When you think about this, if you wanted to put like a more detailed edge on that and router all the way along, well, if you had used nails, you got to be careful about hitting them nails now. Where this here is a permanent solution, works great. I've never ever seen them come apart. Guys, I've actually cut them like across in a corner just to take a look and see what they look like. Yeah, them biscuits, they do swell up, and they don't distort your wood or anything, but yeah, they make a tight seal, I mean, big time. So I hope you like this little project. This is a nice, easy job. It took me about an hour out in the shop here, including filming time, and it's something that you could do too. And like I say, the biscuit joiner is a great addition to the shop, and you can see all the different tools that I had to use here. And they're all just, you know, like a great time having fun out in the shop building something like this. So thanks for joining me here today. If you haven't seen this channel, well, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again, and we're going to build some more projects like this in the future. Cheers.